friends, and welcome to Coffee with My Sunshine. Thanks so much for joining me and making these super cute spring DIYs. First, we're going to be starting with these two placemats from the Dollar Tree, and I just had to pick them up because they really caught my eye because of how bright and cheery they were. And I also picked up this liquid stitch, and I learned about this from an awesome subscriber friend, and she was not kidding. This stuff is awesome. We're also going to need some sort of stuffing. And with this stuff, I read the directions and it is super easy and lays a lot flatter than using hot glue. All you have to do is just, squirt it basically where you want it to seal. It's like it's kind of like that adhesive tape for fabric, but it's just a glue. So I am just going to go all the way around the placemat and set the other placemat on top. You want to leave a small hole a little bit bigger than your hand. That way you can add the stuffing after it dries. And this stuff, it says it only takes a half hour to dry. I let it dry a little bit longer, only because I wasn't home. But when you get your placemats, make sure they are the same size. Mine was a little bit bigger. Okay, before we move on to our next DIY, I wanted to let you know that I am joining in on the Spring DIY Challenge that is hosted by Heidi from Happily Thriving Heidi. I'm sure you all know who she is, and if you don't, hop on over to her channel and check her out. You will love the DIYs that she does, and she also has a bunch of cleaning motivation. She is just all around adorable, and I just love her. Also, I will have her channel listed in my description box along with the playlist so that when you are done with my video, you can head on over and get tons more inspiration for your spring home decor. All right, let's get back into it. You're just going to need one of these glass cutting boards from the Dollar Tree, these cute little spring towels from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start by removing those little rubber feet on the bottom and then scraping off the picture that's on there. It's pretty, but it's just not what I was hoping for. So it didn't all come off, so I'm going to use some of this Goo Gone. I'm sure if you just soaked it in warm soapy water, it would come off really easy. But I had to leave again, so I just put this stuff on there and let it sit, and then scraped off the rest of the picture that wouldn't come off the first time. After I scraped it all off, I just washed it with some soapy water. And I'm going to be using this towel because I think where the flowers were was a perfect match for the circle. So I just traced around the circle, and I'm using some Mod Podge, which I'm going to show you a kind that's dishwasher safe or, safe to wash. But this is all I had, so I'm just going to use that and then attach the towel to the back of the plate. This is the Mod Podge I was talking about that you can use and on something like this and be able to throw it in the dishwasher, I guess. I've never used it, so I can't say for sure, but that's just what it claims. I'm going to be using this as like a candle holder. I'm not going to use it as a cutting board. It can also be used for decorations on a tiered tray. So here's what it looks like all finished. I think it's super pretty. So now that this has dried, I am going to add the stuffing. And then I'm just going to go ahead and seal up where I had left it open. And I kind of pulled apart the corner a little bit more than it was because I wasn't able to get my hand all the way in there to stuff the stuffing in the corners. And then after I sealed that, I just closed it up with some clothespins so it would dry nicely. And now you have a two-sided pillow. And I think I'm going to go get some more because I think these are really pretty. So let me know what you think. These are super cheap, and the liquid stitch stuff is really inexpensive, and I got mine at Walmart. For the next one, I am using this plant as kind of inspiration. I just thought it was so cute when I picked it up on clearance. It's a winter plant, but I'm going to make some for spring. So I'm using these terracotta pots that I got from the Dollar Tree. a paper bag and some of this Spanish moss, also from the Dollar Tree. Also twine if you want to do exactly like the one I showed you, and some florals. So this is the piece that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to cut a couple more because I wanted to do all 3 of the pots. And I just kind of measured it out because I knew I would want to wrap the pot in like a slant so that you got the point up at the top. And then I just hot glued mine right along the edge, and then on the bottom you cut off the excess, and then hot glue and roll, and then hot glue and fold up the bottom. If that makes sense. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. And you want to fold it as flat as you can so that it's not wobbly when you set it down. And then I'm taking some of the floral foam from the Dollar Tree and just kind of shaping it so it fits really nice into the little pot. And then adding the moss on top so that you can't see it. And then you can use any little floral sprigs here. I was hoping to find some that looked like rosemary and stuff like that, but I haven't seen any out. So for now, I'm just going to be using the florals that I have. And I thought I would show you again just because it's a little better lighting in this shot. And I just think these are so adorable. They're the perfect little size to put on shelves or again on a tiered tray. Pretty much most of what I'm doing today is little pieces that you can decorate your tiered tray with. I mean, minus the pillow. That would look kind of strange. And here are the 3 that I ended up doing. Let me know what you guys think of these. For this next one, I am just using this little sign thing. It looks like it was originally from the Target dollar spot, but I got it at Goodwill for, it said $1.49, but I got it for 50% off. And I'm going to use the other side because who knows, maybe Valentine's Day next year I might want to use the front of it. So I'm just using some acrylic paint and just painting the inside with a few coats so that none of the brown shows through. And I wanted the brown on the edges to stay, but I kind of got sloppy with the painting, so I did, I painted the sides but left the very edges of the box. And then I'm using some twine and some beads that I had on hand. You can find some at the Dollar Tree if you want to paint them. And I measured it out so that it would hang just a little bit in the corner. And I'm just going to tie it off and cut it and then hot glue it to the inside. And I already think it's really cute. And you guys have some really good ideas. What do you think about putting something on the edges that I glued to the box where you can see the twine kind of hanging off? I kind of wanted those covered up, or I don't know, it just seemed a little unfinished there. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And then I want it to say, God gave me you. I don't know if you guys know that song, but I love it. So I tried couple different ways of doing it. I tried freehanding it, which I wasn't happy with the end result. And so I painted over that and then used some stencils, which I liked how these stencils looked, but I did not like the one where that has that weird G. And the reason I'm going back and forth to each word is because I was trying to give it time to dry, because these markers are really wet and I didn't want to smear it. So then I went and got my hairdryer and then painted over the G I didn't like and decided to just use these stencils on all of the words. But that's a good way just to dry the letters if you're painting or using markers, is with the blow dryer in between each letter. And I think this is so cute. I love how the sign turned out. It's really, really simple, and another little sign that you can use to decorate your tiered tray with. I'm just really happy with how that one turned out. Even though it's a little bit rustic and unfinished looking, I like it. And it goes really well with these little pots. Don't forget to head on over to Heidi's channel, tell her I sent you and show her some love. Also, check out the playlist listed in my description box. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I so love and appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!